Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today. My name is Lauren with the Coffee Cake Quilt Company, and today I received an order from Glide. It's right here in my lap. They just increased their prices. If you do not know, Glide is actually the thread that I use for my long arm. This is made by the company Hab+Dash. So I put in a huge order because they were raising their prices, and I've already had to increase my price, unfortunately, for my clients about 2 years ago now, because batting just goes up every single year. Glide thread kind of fluctuated, especially during the pandemic. At one point for their variegated thread, I was paying like $26 a spool. It has since dropped down to $16.60 for a spool, but man, did things get really rough there for a little bit. So before they put in their price increase for the year, I went ahead and just ordered everything I could possibly think of that I would need this year for my clients so I don't have to raise my prices again. So let's go ahead and see what I got. I'm excited to open it because I totally forget. All right, when I open it up, I have this little thank you from the woman who packaged. This is Robin. All right, and I wanna say, so Hab+Dash, yeah, exactly, Waynesboro, PA. So Waynesboro, PA is like 3 hours from me, so I always get my thread within like 3 business days, I would say. It's super fast for me, so hopefully it's fast for everybody else as well because we need our thread sometimes. So maybe not the most fun, but I had to order a lot of pre-wound bobbins here. So this is the cream. I wanna say that I ordered 4 boxes of the cream because I actually go through cream the most. You would think it would be white as the bobbin, but cream is definitely where it's at for me. 4 boxes. You can go check out the video I just posted as well for the most frequently used thread colors that I have, but I just wanted to go ahead and show you what their pre-wound bobbins look like. This is the 60 weight Magnet Glide pre-wound bobbin. There is a magnet here on the back which keeps that tension just absolutely perfect for your bobbins. Highly recommend if you're not using pre-wound bobbins. Next I got one white and I got an orchid. So this one, it didn't look quite purple, even though, you know, orchid, the actual Glide thread, the 5500 yard one is purple. This one looked more like the bone color that I like to use. Oh my goodness, I'm so wrong. So anyway, this is what orchid, if anybody's looking, because honestly the color card does not match. So if anybody's looking at this, orchid is definitely purple. Oh my gosh, I hope people have purple backings because that is not gonna work out for me. Can we just look? So I have to show you guys, this is the color card. This is orchid on the color card right here. And look at what I was sent. Does that match? I don't think so. Oh no. So the reason I ordered the orchid right there is because I thought it really matched with the bone thread. Can you guys see that? Doesn't that look really similar? I believe I also ordered a gray Magnet Glide 60 weight bobbin as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and have to check on that as well to make sure that they send that to me. Sometimes things are sent in different shipments, so I'm really not worried, but I just need to look into it anyway. First up for the colors of 5500 Glide thread that I ordered, we have this. This is probably Lemon Ice. Let me just double check. Yep, Lemon Ice. I wouldn't say this is a frequently used color, but I've definitely used enough of it to have to order another spool. I have used this in the past. I have one right up here behind me. Same thing here. This is Military Gold. Same thing with this color. I've had to order this. This is probably the 3rd spool I've had to order. I do have plenty here, but like I said, I'm planning out ahead because I don't want to have to raise my prices for a while for my customers. All right, this color is new to me. This is their mocha color. This is really pretty. And in the long arm group that I am in on Facebook, people have said that they really like mocha, so I had no problem getting this one either. I'm sure somebody will want this on their quilts. Although now that I'm looking at it a lot closer, this one is actually coffee and mocha. So don't they look so similar? I mean, I know this one has a glare because of the plastic, but they look really similar. Okay, next up we have celery. We did talk about in our last video that celery is definitely one of the more common colors. Not the most common, but definitely frequently used. This is that light green color. Same thing with Magic Mint, frequently used color here. I knew that I wanted to get 2 so that I was well stocked. And then going along with the Magic Mint, I wanted a paler, like a paler mint color. I also have Seagull though, which I just realized I'm using it for this quilt behind you on my long arm right now. She wanted Magic Mint, but it was just too bright on this quilt. The quilt is really muted. And the green, it is a mint color, but it's more on the green side that it is kind of like this bluer green. So anyway, I used Seagull, which is a beautiful color. But I also bought this Pale Mist because I thought this was so pretty as well. And with Magic Mint being so popular, I'm sure Seagull will be just as popular. It's newer thread to me, so I've only used it this once. But I thought that Pale Mist would be a really good addition to my thread wall. And just so you can kind of see those together, Magic Mint here on the right, like I said, it's more of a blue. And then you have Pale Mist here, which is definitely more on the pale green side as far as mint colors go. Of course, I got Bone because Bone is a really popular color, and I know that I only have one over on my excess wall over there on the shelf. Seagull, which I was just telling you about with the mint family. So this is technically a gray. It's listed in the grays, but look at this. It's definitely more of a kind of, you see the green hue in there? Kind of like a minty green gray hue. I love this color so much. I'm actually really hopeful that this will become a really popular customer favorite because I'm in love with this color. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'll show you the quilt that I'm working on actually, because I think it ties in so beautifully with this quilt. So I'll go ahead and show you that right after I show you this. All right, here's the next one. This is Amethyst. This one is not new to me. I have one back here as well, but it's like half used, and it definitely is, it's not a frequently used color. It's not a common color. It's definitely more of the kind of just infrequently used colors, but I just wanted to have it on hand just in case anyway. I think it's like the perfect purple. It's just light enough and it's just dark enough to kind of blend with a lot of different purples. Here I have this one. This is Sun-Kissed Peach. This is also new to my collection. Here we go. So I got this one because I do have coral, but let me get it down because it's so much darker. Okay, you can see here. So coral is here on the left, and then I have the Sun-Kissed Peach on the right. Do you see how one is much darker than the other? So I had a customer request coral, and of course I got it in after I had to do her quilt. Her quilt was, I had to do it for a show, so I really didn't have a lot of time to wait for this to come around. So we chose a different color instead, but I got the coral because she requested it. But just looking at it, it's like I said, it's a lot darker. It's definitely more orangey, and then I wanted to get this Sun-Kissed Peach to kind of have on hand as a lighter option to the coral. And then along with the greens, I wanted to go ahead and get clover. I told you in the last video that I posted about thread that greens are definitely where it's at. So like I said, tan is really popular, white is really popular, gray is really popular, and then below that you have blues and greens, which are also very popular. So I just wanted to get another shade of green. You can see behind me that I already have several, but I didn't really have this shade. Although now that I'm looking at it, it's kind of close to celery. These color cards are really so hard to tell. Celery is definitely lighter, and then the green, this is more of a truer green with the clover. So I'm definitely happy with those. Finally, for the regular Glide thread colors here, I have pomegranate, and I got this one. There you go. And I got this one because I actually have a cotton thread. I don't remember the brand, I can see it from here, but I don't remember the brand of the thread. But anyway, it was a cotton thread that I used on like this, maybe the third quilt I ever made, and it was for myself. It was an Allison Glass quilt. I can also post it here too. But I just love this magenta color so much that I wanted to have it on hand. And then I also had, someone did one of those paper piece, I think it was either the skull or, no, it was the dragon. So she did the paper piece dragon quilt last year. I can put up a picture of that as well. I can put up examples of all these things that I'm talking about because you have no idea what I'm talking about in my head. But anyway, she had this really cool dragon, and I just thought that magenta would have been so cool with this dragon that she had, and I didn't have this on hand at the time, and I knew that I didn't want to use the cotton thread. And I might have said it in my last video, but I'll say it here again. Cotton thread typically shreds and it breaks and it leaves a lot of lint. So I am really super not a fan. Also, if you wash your quilt more frequently, if you're using your quilt a lot, you will actually notice that the cotton thread is wearing on your quilt. I've noticed that with the magenta cotton thread that I used on that quilt that I was talking about, that Allison Glass quilt for myself. So yeah, so I wanted to have this on hand. I love this color, it's so pretty. I'll show it to you again. This one is the pomegranate. All right, next we have our affinity colors. I have, you guys can't see, maybe I'll go ahead and do a screen grab here afterwards just so you can see all the thread that I have on hand. I do have several affinity thread colors from Hab+Dash, and those are the variegated threads. I have 3 customers out of all the customers that I have. I have 3 that like to use only variegated threads, so I make sure that I have those on hand for those customers. So let me go ahead and show you what I got. I got this slate, and I've been eyeing this one up for probably 2 years now because I really wanted to use it on a Halloween quilt that I have, quilt kit that I have sitting around. So how pretty is that? It's like gray, some kind of maybe white, but like a lighter gray, dark gray, black, really nice. And then we have this. This is Mediterranean. This is so pretty. So it's all different shades of blues, navy, kind of like teal, so pretty. Mineral. This is also another blue. Like I said, greens and blues are pretty popular. All right, this one doesn't show up as well on camera, but there's definitely some purples in there, some light blue, and some kind of just like a regular blue. Finally, I went ahead and got Baby Shower. Okay, baby shower is exactly what you'd think it is. It's light pink and light blue. I got these for my pastel quilts, that the green, sometimes the green doesn't really show up very well on quilts. It is really light. I can't remember if I showed you in this video. Maybe I'll just show you now. So this is the grain thread. I was telling you about the Affinity grain, and for those pastel quilts, I wanted something that maybe showed up a little bit more. I have had a customer that wasn't so fond of how light that green ended up being on her quilt, so I went ahead and got this baby shower just because this is still kind of pastel, but it'll show up a little bit more. And finally, I have Glide 60. So I have recently started doing some ruler work again. Now that I have my new machine, I can't remember if it was this video or the last one. I was having a lot of bobbin tension issues over the last 4.5 years of owning my machine. And so my dealer finally just gave me this new machine. And I want to say new, but it's definitely not new. It almost looks like their machine that they kept on hand to like switch out parts from. It definitely works, but there's definitely some like items that are broken on it, but they're still functioning, if that even makes sense. Anyway, this machine works so much better. I haven't had any tension issues, bobbin tension issues. My machine, it just wasn't set up very well, honestly. So I wasn't really able to do free motion quilting very well or ruler work very well. I wasn't very confident in how my machine was operating, to be honest. And because I'm completely self-taught because of my machine being purchased during the pandemic and not having access to classes at that time. I just kind of gave up on free motion quilting and ruler work. However, now that I have this new machine that the dealer replaced my old machine with just a couple months ago, it wasn't that long ago, maybe 2 months ago now, this one is so much better. It's set up so much better, and I was able to do some ruler work last month. I had a blast with it, so I want to continue going on and doing more ruler work and free motion quilting. And so I went ahead and bought more Glide thread. So I keep 3 colors of Glide 60 weight thread on hand just for ruler work and free motion quilting. So this is linen. All right, so I'm just kind of mimicking the Glide 40 that I also keep on hand. These are the most popular 3 colors. We have Cool Gray 3. And then of course we have white. All right. Please let me know down in the comments down below if you like these kind of videos, if you have questions for me. I would love to answer any questions that you might have. Like I said in my last video, I did have to teach myself through the pandemic on how to use this machine, so I feel like I've gotten pretty darn good at troubleshooting things. I feel like I have a lot of knowledge to give, and I would love to help you guys. So if you have questions, please let me know down below. You can also always email me at coffeecakequiltco@gmail.com. All right, thank you so much. I hope that you enjoyed this unboxing of Glide thread. I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.